A game about digging a hole. When I first saw this game, it ignited an almost primal instinct every man has when faced with an open patch of land and a shovel. That being to
dig hole.
Shortly after moving in, I get a visit from the Men in Black. Expecting them to give me a flashbang lobotomy, they instead inform me of a juicy treasure that's buried in my back garden. With an insatiable urge to dig and a mysterious prize awaiting, I throw my belongings straight into the gutter and crack on, because this is a game about digging a hole. So 100%ing this game is quite different to others I've completed, as you have to finish the game first before any achievement will unlock. However, you are still able to work towards the achievements during this time, as the progress is still tracked. We'll come back to that detail later on, but with that being said, I make a start on my masterpiece, my magnum opus, okay, I'm not doing that anymore. This game has the same basic premise as other games that have latched onto my addictive personality. That being, do thing, buy upgrades with money earned from said thing, do thing again, repeat, win. I'd love to see Elden Ring reach this level of gameplay depth. Starting off, we're given our trusty automatic shovel, which may help the player, but the constant rapid clicking definitely didn't help with the carpal tunnel. A jetpack for climbing back out and slowing my falls, an inventory to store ores and sell for upgrades later, and a battery pack to power it all. Oh yeah, the battery also explodes if you run it to 0%. Ah, got ya. Knowing that we're in the early game, I just focus on getting the hole started and getting a few basic upgrades. Stone, coal, iron, sell. Buy a better shovel, inventory, jetpack, battery. I think you get the picture by now. Now that we've reached the point of not being a total loser baby who can barely dig a hamster's grave, we continue our descent. From here, we start finding better ores such as silver and gold, and the game helps us out with a few open caverns to give us some much needed breathing room, which is good, as I was only an air vent and a fan away from giving a certain man a run for his money. As we get further down, we come across a small shaft. I like the one in my pants. This one holds some little treasures to help us on our digging journey. Coming out of our hole and selling our pocket full of shiny rocks, we're left with a hefty $833, which we put towards a fancy new drill. This thing does not fuck around and gets us down from 45 meters all the way down to about 80 meters. Of course, with the help of some lights to see what we're doing, and some dynamite to clear the hard rocks which block our path the lower we go. Now, I know I mentioned that no achievements unlocked during our first playthrough, however I decided at this time it would be a good idea to use our new drill to work towards one of the achievements for wasting 50 ores, so that we're not stuck with any achievements like this in our next playthrough. For this, I thought it would be best to absolutely destroy the rest of my garden by digging up some of the remaining stones, 100 to be exact, as we also need to collect 100 stones for another achievement. Once I finished tearing up the place, I could go for one last achievement before finishing the game for the first time, that being to fall for 4 seconds straight. Figuring that I would need to fall from the top of the map all the way to the very bottom, I dug my way through the last of the dirt until I reached a spooky looking cave. Like everything in life, I ignored the obvious problem ahead for now and began flying up to clear a nice path for a straight shot all the way to the bottom. At the top, I lined myself up and started falling. I wasn't counting how long, as I was ready to hold space to stop myself from dying. Oh, okay. After this, it's time to make the final descent down to the bottom to complete the game. Just to say again that we have a lot of achievements ahead, some easier than others. One of which includes throwing 100 dynamite, which would be easy in the endgame as we have easy access to money. And oh look, 37 dynamite in my hotbar ready to be used. You're gonna use that, right? Right. Okay, we reach the bottom. Everything is eerily quiet. It's too late for that now. What could possibly be lurking in these depths below? It's moles? Big moles. After waiting for our moment, we can slip past them undetected, and we make our way to the final prize. There it is. The thing we've worked so hard to get to. We open the chest, only to find out that we've been scammed. We're cornered and rewarded with a foxy jump scare for our efforts. Anyway, with that out of the way, we're given our very first achievement of the run, treasure, for finding the treasure and beating the game. We're also now given the choice to stay in the save or move on to
achievement mode.
Last one, I promise. Thankfully, we remember to use up our final 37 dynamite for the boom achievement. After this, we say goodbye to our lovely hole-shaped friend we made and start a brand new game. Loading into our new game, we're met with some more achievements. Long fall for falling for 4 seconds, wasted for wasting 50 ores, stonemason for collecting 100 stone, and where's boom? Oh, honestly, boom isn't the end of the world, and it'll be easy to finish off while we're getting the remaining achievements. Which I guess now is a good time to go through the final things we need to do. We need iron shovel, which requires me to shovel about 1400 more times, which sounds like a lot, but we're already over halfway to our 4000 goal. We need to collect 5 special ores for the rainbow achievement, which are new rainbow colored ores that spawn only in this playthrough. We need to earn 20,000 in cash for the moneymaker achievement, which we're already well over halfway to doing. So we don't need to worry about these ones, as they'll pop as we make our way through the second playthrough. The final one, on the other hand, has me sweating a little, as we need to finish the entire game in under 30 minutes for the fastest achievement. Now, this very first run, albeit filled with long pauses of me usually making a cup of tea or pissing around with Spotify in some kind of way, took me just under 2 hours. I'm realizing I'm going to have to cut down on a lot of bullshit and time wasting if I want this last achievement. I decided to treat the second run as a cleanup run, since the speed run gives me no time to spare at all when it comes to getting these other achievements. Since most of these are just progressing through the game, I started up again and went through as normal. The one main difference being that the keys for the special chest in the garage were now out there waiting to be found. What treasure could lurk lurk inside, I wonder? The first achievement we get is I Am Shovel, shortly followed by Rainbow. After this, we find the final key to the mysterious chest in the garage. Upon opening it, we get an upgrade to our dynamite and a teleporter, which allows us to return to the surface with just a single button press. How useful. I decided to test my shiny new teleporter after needing a recharge, only to find out that it's a one-time use, and I can now never use it again until the next playthrough, which I won't have enough time to obtain it in since I'll be speedrunning. That's fantastic, isn't it? To get our last 2 achievements before the speedrun, I finish digging to the bottom once more, and after selling some ores, we get the Moneymaker achievement. Capping off the cleanup run with some domestic terrorism, we use the last of our dynamite and get the Boom achievement. This now leaves us with one final run, the speedrun to beat the game in under 30 minutes. To successfully speedrun this game, I'm going to need to focus on getting as far down as possible without any distractions from the extra loot we find along the way, as the time it takes to get this usually slows us down in the long run. Starting off with a painfully slow first shovel, I make a start. I'm trying to make sure that I make the hole big enough for me to fly in and out of without getting snagged or using up any extra battery, or without wasting time from digging unnecessary amounts of dirt. After a while of digging, selling, and upgrading, I started to focus less on the storage upgrades and more towards the drill, as this thing absolutely eats through the dirt like it knows we're speedrunning. After a while of this, I load up on dynamite and make my way down for the final descent. Now down at about 85 meters, I spam the last of my dynamite and break through into the mole's den. I do, however, absolutely fuck it the first time around and get eaten by this big bastard, and on my actual final descent, we slip past the moles one last time and make it to the chest. Finally, we're finished. Where's my achievement? Oh, for fuck. Okay, final run for real this time. All the same stuff, although this time I'm making sure that I make the hole much smaller, as I think that's what wasted some time in our last attempt. That and dying. We continue our run, digging down, buying upgrades, blah blah blah, until we reach the bottom again. From here, we sneak past the moles for the actual final time, clocking in a final time of 24 minutes 31 seconds. With this, we have our final achievement and can successfully crown ourselves king of the hole. Thanks for watching.